You in Europe, you in Dubai, you in Africa, you in the US, you in the Caribbean. We say welcome, good morning, good evening, good night. As the globe turn to the management and staff of Street 91.9 FM. We say thank you today. We say thank you today for the Creator, for the energies, for the universe, for having us above ground, that we can enjoy the wonders of the creation that have been left for us to take care of. We say thanks for wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, that we can pursue this journey in love and harmony. We can pursue this journey with an interest in leaving a world and a globe for our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren to come. We say thank you for friends, for family, for children, to live in harmony, for brethren to dwell together in unity, to create, to evolve, to expand. We say thank you. Some would say amen. I say so mote it be. You in your own world will say that which conforms with your belief system. So we here at Third Empire, we live again. And yesterday we had an interesting conversation, some interesting conversation as a matter of fact, that dealt with a number of things, but more importantly we cap off yesterday's conversation with looking at the work environment and how behavior impacts on productivity and how the rules of engagement policy manage conflict. We might think that is sidestepping the rubric of the empire and the Third Empire in looking at the match that is being played by the batsmen, the executive in office, and the bowlers, the opposition in the parliament. But it doesn't, it fit back into that whole productivity sphere that the batsmen can do all that they want. They are dependent upon an enabling environment where productivity can thrive in not only the public sector but also the private sector. For without productivity, really and truly, we really looking at the rod and the eyes of IMF and World Bank and begging cap in hand, really and truly. So that environment of that workspace where public servant understand is service and not servitude. So don't let people say servant. It's not servitude we're talking about, it's service you provide. Creating an enabling environment for you to be productive with clearly defined policies and rules to allow for this productivity to be realized. Also in the private sector, creating those enabling environment allows to a large extent for Trinidad and Tobago to turn around as an economy and be more productive. And only in being productive that we can really realize the true potential of all the resources that are available to us as a country. Yes, that human resource, mineral resource, to really put them together and create that synergy for productivity to be second to none. We have great opportunities in terms of export. We have from music, from manufacturing sector. We have, in Canada, our moruga, I think scorpion pepper is one of the second rated peppers in Canada in terms of hot peppers and so forth. A lot is happening outside here that we're not capitalizing on, and we have to look at, again, productivity and what is affecting our productivity. We talk about our cocoa and coffee industry, and again, probably the environment is not an enabling one. Probably there's too much conflict on the farms, in the office, on the factory floor, that impacts on the level of productivity and quality in terms of output to be competitive really and truly on the international market. Yes? And if organization take the time really and truly, if organization take the time really to start zeroing down on those elements that impact negatively on their productivity, probably we could see less conflict in the workplace, less matters going to the industrial court and the civil court, and we can see a better and higher standard of living for all if we sit down. But I'm aware, as most of you in the pavilion, that the resources relative to chart or structure or build culture in organization may not be readily available, or you may not know where to go to access these resources and building capacity from what you have. A lot of time, really and truly, retrenchment is the last thing you need to look at, you know. Sometimes a simple restructuring of your organization, realignment of your organization, reviewing of policy and changing of culture could bring about such level of productivity and output that I call, when you look at retrenchment, I call it a simple mind solution to problems in the workplace. Simple minds solution, because there's so much things that we can do in terms of diversification and so forth. We were establishing the Revenue Authority to say what? We were talking about what? Productivity and so forth. And want to ask yourself the question, are the existing institutions that we have relative to collections and monitoring of imports and exports and VAT payment and tax payment, are they, one, structured to achieve that objective in the first place as they are? Two, are they staffed in a way to achieve those objectives in the first place? Three, are the staff trained to achieve that objective? Is it constituted or is it cultured around a particular vision and mission as to what the end in mind that the government or the owner of capital want to achieve? So I was one who said the Revenue Authority is just changing a name but not really looking at cause and effect, defining what is the problem and why it is this what we have. It is not solving the problem really and truly. And the same reason why we move away from focusing heavily on the public service, the state, in its structure, and establish a number of special purpose companies, because we believe the state was not productive enough or able to execute projects as fast as an executive in office would have wanted. So we set up a special purpose company. But have we ever really looked at what caused the inefficiencies in ministries or the state, as the case may be, and try and address it? We never did. We say, see, the PS might be of a different party, and some of the staff might be of a different party, and they want the party in government or the executive in government to look bad, so they're not pushing at it and so forth. Is that a fact? Because the roads that Ministry of Works would pave is for all to drive on. The same man who is in the office and playing the monkey and so forth, and the same man who's being productive, the same road you have to drive on. Yeah? But have we really looked and defined if ministries are properly managed? A permanent secretary made permanent secretary because probably they passed the little permanent secretary exam, doing the little project management exam that they give them to do. And you pass and you might have a little 2 letters after your name that you went to school and you acquire, and you say you're in charge of the ministry. Question is, are they really equipped to lead a diverse group of personnel in location throughout Trinidad and Tobago? Are they trained? Are they leaders in their own right? You know, somebody asks, would anyone follow them if they didn't have the position to say, yeah, their leadership skill, how they culture, how they build team and so forth, it is one we could follow. Whether they're permanent secretary or not, we'll follow them. Whether he's CEO or not, we'll follow him because of his vision, of his strategy, of how he corral people in terms of achieving objectives and so forth. Our permanent secretaries hired or employed or appointed based on any of those strategy. Is the Public Service Commission functional for the state apparatus, which is the public service, to be efficient and effective? Have anybody looked at that? Or we just say, oh, the ministry, the efficient ministry, roads get in trouble, so we set up something at the side and so forth because we find we can handle them public service. Or we probably set it up because we don't want to go through the rigors of proper tendering procedure and so forth. So we set it up where we could influence the people we put there because now they're on contract and they're at your whims and fancy. So that's your whims and fancy, really and truly, because you're on contract, you're a 3-year contract, you know. So if you do what you say, really, we do renew your contract, we get somebody else. So what we're saying is that in terms of owners of capital, one, you need to look at a large extent of our working population are not in a unionized environment. So they depend to a large extent of the owners of capital to set rules and policy that would govern a productive work culture. Some companies have it that they don't need workers, don't see the need for union because the capitals of the capital of the owners of capital in those organizations understand Maslow to a large extent. They understand Maslow. And if I take care of you, I believe you will take care of me. And they apply that rigorously where they go to the extent of having daycare in their workspace and so forth, where they go to the extent of providing transportation where you live in challenging locations, as the case may be, yeah, where they look at productivity bonus for people and so forth, where at the end of the year we look and we share the spoils with everyone. Some of them do that to a large extent, yeah. So people believe that I can give of myself to this organization because this organization is looking after me and taking care of me, so they give back. So they create that culture in that organization for productivity to take place. The question is, are we setting policies? Are we creating cultures in the public service, in the police service and all, in all service, to bring about a level of productivity, what I call a peace of mind in the worker to know that this employer is taking care to me to the extent that I could really focus on giving my all towards the vision and mission of this organization. I must say a pleasant good afternoon to my colleague Empire, Ronaldo Rollocks, while Mr. Mattison and Ms. Simoya is on matters of state. Mr. Rollocks, borrow the mic.
Good afternoon, listeners. Good afternoon to everyone on the World Wide Web. Is our live stream up today?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, so it's up. Thanks, Master Control. And thank you for tuning in and listening. I was listening to some of the prelude, and I was saying that there are a couple matters that affect what we do. And one burning issue is the issue of crime. I think the numbers are running up. It's pretty early in the innings. However, this is not something that you want to get out of hand. They say to whom much is given, much is required. And the gentleman from Homeland Security, the both gentlemen actually, I think the pavilion and the populace at large have high expectations of them. High expectations. Whether they're too high or not, that is still left to be seen. But there are high expectations of them for them to perform and make a dent. Now, we do understand that things will not turn around in the day. But every time someone dies, it's a day or minute too late. And we have to hold them to account just as we did the bowling side. To be balanced and to be fair as umpires, we have to hold them to check just as we did the bowling side. And I get the feeling that the pavilion and the population, and they have been watching on for a while, but then now questions are being asked, and rightfully so. What is the plan for a crime intervention? Hopefully leading to a reduction in the crime rate, especially the serious crimes, homicide, etc., you know, gun violence. What novel are we willing to try? What are we willing to try? What are we willing to do that we have not done before? Or are we going to do what we have done before? What are we willing to bite the bullet and say, we're doing this. This have never been done before. We're going to do this. It might be uncomfortable for the population. It might be uncomfortable for some people, some restricted freedoms. I don't know. But what is it that we are going to do, or what are we prepared to do that has not been done before? Or even if it has been done to a different degree, and we're going all the way. We are saying to the population, drastic times and drastic measures. So this is the question. You know, are we willing to give up our personal freedoms? We talked about it yesterday in reference to public health. But for the crime fight, are we willing to... He had no right to ask me that. So he's stopping the car for. So he can't go and look and run down some bandit. You know, we say that we don't like roadblock. We don't really like inconvenience. But we do have to give up something. And are we willing to give up some of our personal freedoms, some of our personal luxuries? It might be, listen to me, that have no 5 a.m. party, you know. It might not be that. It might be, listen to me, all social events, only get inside by 3 o'clock. And all these things will obviously have effect on labor and workers and restaurants and diners and etc., just as is in the case of state of emergency. But the question for us will be, in 2025, July 2025, what are we willing to sacrifice for the greater good of the country? What are we willing to give up? What right are we willing to curtail or have curtailed, abrogated? What are we willing to give up? Along with the ideas of those who are wiser and who have much more training. Are we ready? Are we willing to give up? Are we willing to give up stuff? Or we want it all?
Well, if I may jump in, we talked culture to some extent yesterday. I know the culture in the police service. I know the culture in the Ministry of National Security, but for the last 10 years or so, we have been failing in terms of putting a model in place that bring about a peace of mind to the citizenry in terms of crime and criminality. Yeah? So you see, I bring in by my boat the ministry and the police service. Yeah? And then I could expand on that in terms of the community development, in terms of, you see, what where I going there? In terms of, I getting to a point by building something here. In terms of Ministry of Sport, in terms of, well, this but inside have Ministry of the People. So they recognize something. But let's pull back a little bit. So what I'm getting at is that if you want to create real lasting solution for crime and criminality, all these agencies must work in tandem and not in silos. Yeah? Because catching the bandit, it come like, you know, you're full cube, and every day you go and pick up an egg. Well, every day you'll be picking up a bandit because the fowl keep hatching egg. But if you don't want no more egg, what you have to do is treat with the fowl. The cause. But no one is addressing cause. Everyone is looking, break your neck, shoot him, da da da. But who is addressing cause? And the only how we could start looking at reducing crime and criminality is something you can't really stop, because sometimes the heart of man is wicked and so forth, some men. But is looking at cause. But if you let's stand up where we are right now, right? So cause is a big pit here, right? And not working in silos is the critical step to address cause. Police service cannot stop crime. Police service could only arrest crime. Yes? So we are really doing nothing there by giving them 300 gun, 35 thing, armor, fire burning vehicle and so forth. It would slow it down, but we have to address cause to some extent. What we call the tripod, I say, is home, community, society. We have to address it on that front. Where we are now, the batsman from Homeland was saying, look, when I went in there, and I thought I would have made things humming and just put fuel in the can go. It didn't have no plugs in the engine. The gas tank was leaking. The fan belt burst. And the radiator had a hole. So when I think I could have come and pick you up tomorrow, please God, or pick you up tonight to carry you to the dance, I can start the car self. So this is what the Homeland man is saying. Now, he was there some months before. So he must have known it had holes to know what promise to make. So it's not that he was living in Charlottesville and he didn't know. No, he was there part of it. So he must know, when you see the amount of holes, I can't make no promise going in this thing, you know. I can't make no promise because I know the amount of hole itself. So I have to tell the people here what's going on. We have a lot to fix to start solving crime. Right? Strategy is not everything they could speak to the public. And I always tell national security, not everything will look at for public tender. Sorry to say, yeah, procurement legislation. Procurement legislation must be mindful of certain categories of procurement cannot fall under the public's purview in terms of apparatus and crime solving initiatives and so forth, right? We're building on this. I don't know what the strategy is. I haven't heard a strategy. I've heard something about when we control the street, we control crime. I don't know what that means, really and truly, when we control the street.
That sound like Anaconda.
I don't want to go.
That sound like Fight Back. Strike Back.
Batty Mamzelle.
Yeah, and these other things.
Those things don't work because let me tell you something. Every bandit have a cell phone and he could send the lead cop in front to say, hey, there are roadblock up there, take the next road. So roadblock is inefficient, really and truly.
A question from a texter to you. You think we're using technology? You think we're technologically driven?
We are not we're far from it. We're playing around with technology in national security. We're skirting around technology.
Flirting with it.
Flirting and with no hope of getting into the room.
We don't really.
We're flirting around, and there are so much solutions. I've been talking in this country, Safe City. For a few years now, I've been talking about Blue City, what have been taking place in some developed country in England and all about the place. I'm talking about, in terms of, and these are cheap, reasonable technology that is available, you know. There's not no rocket science I'm talking about that is there that is solving crime. And you solve crime by information. And you really use the technology to get information. But if you have no information, you're going to solve anything. You're going to solve anything and they have no information. We talk simple, I mean, I don't want to talk it here really and truly, but we are I've given proposal relative to strategies that we can use, that anywhere you move, I know where you are. Anywhere you move technology, and this is reasonable, cheap technology, but probably it is fancy to say I'm working on something than to solve it.
Well, this seems to be Rwanda or the Congo, the DR. This is not a big land space, the big land mass.
I always talk it, 5,400, the Mickey Mouse thing to track.
And how much people we talking about we tracking?
You know, I've some friends working Homeland Security in the US and so forth. And I always ask the question because it amazes me. New York City have over 12 million people and they solve crime in New York City. With all the alleys and the buildings and the corners and the subways, they solve crime.
And you see a very well-knit interagency response.
Interagency, so we have NOC and so forth that should be used in terms of forming that overarching umbrella to monitor and so forth and deal with response and detection and so. When we had 9/11, now, US had the problem as old as a society, over 200 years. They had the problem when 9/11 took place. And they recognized their agencies were operating in silos. So DEA knew something, CIA knew something, and this one knew something. And then they created Homeland Security that integrate data and information to be able to strike in a more effective way. We established NOC. I can't remember, I must check which administration put NOC and they try with NOC and what did some agencies, they call them up in Wallerfield up there and so forth. What is bad about it is that they never constitutionally structured these institutions. It was the whims and fancy of an executive. So they have no constitutional framework behind them. So they can't arrest nobody and so forth. They're saying could detect and so. I had given this suggestion, I'd say one suggestion I'd given, is that we have a number of agencies that have the powers of arrest in Trinidad. And I'm trying to figure out, all we have to do is expand their remit. We have local government that have local government, we don't call them market police and so forth. Local government have a police arm to it that is in gray shirt, that could arrest people, that could take people before the court. Yeah? Now, let's put it this way. Anybody with a precept that is given by the Commissioner of Police have the powers of arrest probably on their estate, but that can be expanded to where your estate is by the Commissioner of Police. And you can charge someone and take them to court once you precepted. So airport authority officers can arrest you on their estate and take you to court as the case may be. But we go further. Why is local government, the police and local government going home at 4, closing the door and going home and so forth? They're in the community. Our first movement of police in the community should be the local government police. They're in the community already. Expand on that. Yes? We throw them aside. We have custom and excise that deals with borders. Why are we limiting the remit of what they can do? And what is interesting about the custom and excise fall under the Ministry of Finance. Local government police officers fall under the Rural Development and Local Government Minister. TTPS fall under Homeland Security. So we already have a structure like the US with DEA, CIA, Homeland Security. We have a structure, you know. And no one is looking to expand on those structures to make them more effective for crime fighting. But the structures exist, just we lose the management will or the strategy, how we can use all these agencies under one umbrella or connected to one umbrella. You understand? To solve crime. But crime in Trinidad is the easiest thing to solve. We have the structures in place already. We don't have to create no new thing. What we need to embrace now with them is the technology now. And this summer proposal I had given her. I had given this proposal in terms of using all these different arms of security that can arrest and take you to court. They have the powers of arrest given by the Commissioner of Police.
What about these security guards? And
well, are going down the road.
Okay.
We have about 15,000 or so precepted private security officers that can arrest and prosecute, can confer a charge on you. So I'm saying all of these apparatus exist to solve crime, and one wonders in a. We had established a private security network commission that had about 15 different agencies, private security, statutory security like TSTT, Airport Authority. It was chaired by the deputy commissioner responsible for crime, was chairing that committee that include private security, TSTT, custom, and whoever formed that umbrella committee there. And we're looking at strategies in ways that we can deal with crime or communicate, on one platform to treat with criminality in society. For some reason, that they just throw that out the window. So this is what I'm saying. People just curtain because it's probably a fancy topic to talk about and make people, sound, intellectual or what. But really and truly, the solution to crime and criminality in Trinidad is not a difficult one to detect. All of these agencies deal with detection now. These agencies don't deal with. But if detection, I always say, if detection is only 10% and bandit, no, 90% opportunity to escape, it is attractive for bandit to strive. But all these agencies must be utilized and come under some remit to address crime and criminality.
So we want to ask the pavilion, members of the pavilion, from what you have seen from the bowling side and the little from the batting side, and you have seen other test match in previous times, most of you all you have been in the pavilion longer than I have been here. Do you think, as a country, Trinidad and Tobago, we are serious about solving crime, yes or no, or abating it? We know you can't solve it totally. Do you think we are serious in Trinidad and Tobago? Begin by telling me yes or no and give your reason.
Caller, welcome.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. How you all going?
Excellent.
Great. Listen to the introduction there, everything. I would say a resounding no in terms of if Trinidad and Tobago is or has been serious about crime. I can't even find the ability to even answer that question. There's no answer to answer that, but it's a resounding no. And to add to your point, gentlemen, and they were saying they have about 15,000 security officers who have the powers of arrest and this and that. But simple answer, proactive policing. Where is proactive policing? Because let me give an example. If situations go on, continue to go on, and you as the law enforcement personnel, you not doing your job, you're providing the facade that you're doing your job. So you're driving around in brand new Suzuki Grand Vitaras every day. You're making sure to stay muscular and fit. You're going by the barber regularly to give that Arnold Schwarzenegger presentation. But you're not doing proactive policing. Then crime will continue to grow. So what is the definition of innocent and guilty? And we're looking at national security in an isolated context. Let's look at politicians, the availability of opportunities, employment opportunities for persons, if you see people getting away, now some people might say, well, just because you see things going on, that don't mean you should jump in. But we are only human beings, you know. So then what is the real definition of innocent and guilty if you, as the authority, not doing your job? That's my humble contribution. I'll make space for other persons to come in.
You too
right?
kind.
But as a citizen of Trinidad, is unfortunate to say, but for quite some time now, I have been totally just focused on me. Because the direction it seems that Trinidad want to go in is not the direction as a person want to go in, unfortunately. So, great topic, guys. Great program as usual, touching on that real issues. So keep up the great work.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you.
So the caller said we're not serious. We kicks it.
Caller, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Yes, Samoya here, Jen. So I am saying I believe that crime, the people, my apologies, they are not serious about crime at all. Mr. Mitchell mentioned the availability of technology. Go.
Something you're using your car.
You mentioned the availability of the technology. Just by that, the fact that we are not utilizing even the most reasonable ones, it says to me that we are not serious about it. And in my humble, before I close, as long as somebody pay a man to deal with something quietly, it shows that we are not serious. All know about the issues of corruption, the fact that there's nepotism, that we get things the easy way. We can cover things up and blame the small man. As long as the system still exists, we are not serious about it.
Ooh, thank you. Simoya fine on all plugs this evening. Boy. So really and truly, with looking at, oh, hot and mild. Caller, welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon. I think you outlined the approach to dealing with crime in this country, and it's broad-based. Because you look at the community, you look at the family and all these, the structure of the family, what the functional or dysfunctional family, disorganized communities, all these things, and you talk about sports, you talk about education having to do, plays role in the whole process. And yes, I mean, it's wide, it's broad, but I want to focus where you went with respect to the police. And if you have a police service, you have probably issues with discipline, and you're talking about prosecutions. And you have, I think it's reported, I saw an article in the newspaper, where in 1 year, I think it was some 2022 or 23 or 19 or thereabout, you had over 1,300 plus cases dismissed because police were not attending court. What does that say? What does that say? The whole question of training again and the gathering of evidence, the question of intelligence, that is very important. So if in fact you need to look at the police in itself, as to, because you have a low detection rate, that has to do with intelligence, whether they are trained, whether it's fit in terms of, again, the same training. Those officers who are assigned to do these undercover work as it is, are they, because you can't have 18% detection, and when you go before the court, because again, they're trained to give evidence, and when they reach before the court and they take the stand, they crumble under cross-examination. All these things you need to look at, and some of them they're not going to court because they can't withstand cross-examination.
So, caller, you think we're serious or not? You tell me,
what?
Are we serious? Do you think definitely yes or no? Are we serious about crime?
Well, we must be serious about crime, because if you have a runaway crime in any country, what about our personal safety, the safety of yourself, your children, your family as a whole? So you have to be serious. Either you're living on the moon, because eventually it will reach you, it will touch you, and there are few people in Trinidad and Tobago who haven't been touched by crime. So we have to be serious. I don't understand that, because somewhere, somehow, you go in a grocery, you go in a bank, you're walking down the street, you're likely to be shot. A woman somewhere in the east there, I think it's somewhere in Aruka, looking through a window in Aruka there, and some stray bullet. That's it. Somebody in the bathroom there, a woman that's reported. She got shot in a bathroom. You had in through a window. She's washing some thing, wares or whatever it is in a kitchen. She got shot. So I'm saying that who is immune? Who is immune to crime? All of us are vulnerable. You, I, everybody, we are vulnerable. We are susceptible to criminal behavior at any point in time in this country. So we ought to be concerned and we ought to be serious about crime. There's no doubt about it. And the police service, you need to deal with that police service in terms of reform, making it an efficient, making it a professional, and as your co-host said the last time, a modern police service. And you have to deal with that police service commission. I don't know what is the mandate, but I don't think that they are, whatever mandate they have, they are not carrying out efficient. I heard this gentleman some days, weeks ago, I think it was, he used to be at the university there. He wrote, at one time he was a member of the Police Service Commission. He spoke about this Police Service Commission. You had Martin George. He spoke about it. And a number of comments are made about that, the workings of that Police Service Commission. And as far as I'm concerned, it's a waste of time. Because most of the times what they do, they delegate. And within the police, they delegate a lot of promotion, discipline, all these things to the police commissioner. And we're talking about up to the ranks of assistant commissioner. And that is mass. You have to find a new way of dealing with these things. And we know nepotism plays there. We know all these things in terms of promotion. When the time comes, sometimes you send people in the police service and those other services on courses abroad, almost when they are ready, at the time when they are ready to retire. So what are they going to contribute? And when they come back, there's no way of transferring the information or transmitting the information down the ranks. So this thing you have to take a serious look at the police service in terms of reform. I only deal with that aspect of it, but there are other aspects like the judiciary and all these things that you need to look at within the criminal justice system. But I know I can't use your program. I can't abuse your program. Thank you.
Kind. You are kind. Thank you.
Contribution. Yeah. Are we serious? Are we serious about this? And when you tell me we're serious, you have to evidence it. Don't just tell me we're serious. And if you say we're not serious, tell me too. What is your evidence? Why do you say either way?
Welcome, caller.
Yes, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey, afternoon, my friend.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Who there with you?
We have Brother Rolex here. The others.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Brother Rolex. I'm
Ronaldo.
The president.
Ronaldo, yeah. Good afternoon, sir.
Good evening.
And good afternoon, Trinidad and Tobago. Well, other than my president, Trinidad and Tobago visitor, and I know really just, I know put on the video and when I hear you, we're talking about crime.
Yes, we want to know from what you've seen, and you see a lot. Are we serious about crime in Trinidad and Tobago? Yes or no? I just want you to tell me, and you tell me why you say what you say.
What I see and why I say what I say.
Yeah, from what you see, from what you observe, from what you read, you are wrong. You are the president. You are wrong.
All right, well, let me look at crime in I almost say plenty of yesterday too, because the individual, we as human beings, our whole consciousness had to really change, because there's not a police or no nothing like stopping that gesso. That is a people thing.
Press, we almost have break, so you have to be pretty quick, or you could call back.
Yeah, well, our committee
call back, because I know you have a lengthy contribution, so best you call back, because we almost have break.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay.
So we look at systems and behavior really and truly to demonstrate as a demonstration that those in power, those in office, are serious about addressing crime and so forth. Certain things can be done through the parliament in terms of structure, system, agencies and so forth. I'm not seeing that. I'm not seeing making new laws to hang and this and that is really a farce, really and truly. But making laws to hang, you don't catch nobody really are making sense. So.
And I want to add a dimension here. When I ask if we're serious, people looking at the government. I wasn't looking at the government alone, you know. I was looking at the citizens.
You say we serious.
You and your neighbor.
Yep.
Good, because often enough we believe that, you know, your neighbor business is not yours. But we'll come back to that.
We'll look at Crime Stoppers, like this Crime Stoppers thing. If it
because
working,
one
if
of the things,
working.
look at it, one of the things that was important in the case we discussed yesterday in the McDonald's and the murder, that after murdering the boss, the worker was making quicker bid to escape. She was stopped by an armed person in the restaurant who pursued her. He had his legal firearm. He didn't try to shoot her, but he detained her until the police arrived. And he's been hailed because, you know, if she could have been anywhere, they would have caught up with her eventually. But he kicked into action. And I put that in the context of crime. We always say we and them, and we're not asking for martyrs, you know. But when I ask, are we serious as a country? Are we serious? Is that seriousness?
Like you say, everybody know the drug block.
Everybody know, but I know my business. Everybody know who kill. You know, when police kill, everybody they see.
Yeah.
But otherwise, nobody sees. When we come back from the drinks, are we serious about crime as citizens of Trinidad and Tobago? Government.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Attention business owners. Are you looking to reach a vast audience and boost your brand's visibility? Then look no further. The Street 919 FM is here to help you shine. With over 170,000 followers on our social media platforms, our radio station is the perfect platform to showcase your products and services. Join us and let your message be heard by thousands of eager listeners. Contact us now to learn more about our affordable advertising packages. Don't miss out on this incredible opportunity to connect with your target audience. Advertise with the Street 919 FM today. For more information, call 399-5959 or 384-2232.
This summer, give your child skills of a lifetime with Several Boot Camp. Children between the ages of 5 to 17 come enjoy Children Iron Chef Competition. Your child will learn to prepare healthy breakfast, lunch, dinner, CPR, first aid, and conflict management. With field trip, your child will be given free apron and certification upon completion. Call 492-7397 or 336-4935. Institute of Health and Fitness Company Limited, located at number 79 St. Vincent Street, Tunapuna.
For the month of June, registration will only be $50 to book your space, and you can pay the tuition fee before the start of camp.
Ikaro, I am Alatumishe Ifabamishe Aganki, better known as MCDU.
And every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight,
I host a show called Orisha, The Way of Life, right here on the Sheet 919 FM, where I have guests passing through from the Orisha Ifa Baptist Diaspora to educate, edify, and inform you, the listening public, about Orisha Ifa practices. So remember to tune in
every Monday between the hours of 9 p.m. to midnight
for Orisha, The Way of Life.
We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. Play way fast cash, that is the fit. We rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. No extra spend, just vibes and luck. Play way and fast cash turn up. We rollin', yes we rollin' big. Fast cash and play way take win. Mega mix or monster pick. Jackpot from 10,000 quick.
Jackpot starting at $10,000 have now been added to NLCB's Playway and Fast Cash games. Wager on Playway Mega Mix or Fast Cash Monster Draw for a chance to win the jackpot after every draw. Don't miss out. Visit NLCBgames.com for details. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
Get hot this summer. Oh no, we mean H-U-T, as in hot days mean hot deals with Pizza Hut. Get one large pizza plus single breadsticks for only $135, or go bigger with 2 large pizzas, family breadsticks, and cinnamon rolls for just $290. All your favorite pizzas with all the toppings you love all summer long. So head to the Hut and get your hot deals while this offer is super hot. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
Come shop at the biggest African market in the Caribbean with its African-inspired art, craft, jewelry, clothing, books, delicious food. We're at the Queen's Park Savannah, transformed into the Lidjasu Omuale Emancipation Village for the 2025 Pan-African Festival TT, commemorating emancipation, July 25th to August 1st. Also, enjoy jazz, pan, calypso, reggae, dance, drumming, art exhibits, and for the children, the African Heritage Camp and workshops. The village opens 10:30 a.m. to 10 p.m. Free admission before 3 p.m. Just $40 after. Kids under 12, free all day. Bring your family, your friends, your vibes, and let's celebrate the 187th anniversary of emancipation, our heritage and future together. The Emancipation Support Committee, shaping sustainable futures through reparatory justice.
Blessings in the wonderful name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You are invited to listen to the Final Hour broadcast, heard every Monday from 12 midnight to 5 a.m. in the morning on The Street 919 FM radio. Here my mom, Pastor Helen Garcia, and myself, Pastor Valentine Garcia Jr., preach the Word of God to the elderly, youth, and children. We can be contacted at 629-0113 or 623-8444. The church is located at 26 Prince Street in Port of Spain. We look forward to you joining us. God bless you.
As my life I lay it on the altar, as my life.
When your corporate event needs more than just food, it needs an experience, a Michelin experience. From mouth-watering buffet spreads to beautiful packed takeaway boxes, the Michelin Experience Limited delivers more than just wheels. We deliver flavor. We deliver satisfaction. We deliver excellence straight to your boardroom. Whether it's a conference, board meeting, or a retirement function, go beyond basic. Go bold. Go Michelin Experience Limited. Call us now at 1-868-474-2250 or follow us on social media at Michelin Experience. Great food, exceptional service every time.
Tune in to The Street 919 FM every Friday from 9:15 a.m. to 9:45 a.m. with Kingdom Health Services, situated at number 125 to 186 Eastern Main Road in Tunapuna. For the program, Health and Healing, merging the old with the new, with Mr. Brent Diet. For more information, call 318-7471 or 484-0141 or 360-4100. It's all about Kingdom Health Services on The Street 919 FM.
Join the winning team with Pastor Alkaline John
every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon and every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m.
live on The Street 919 FM as he talks about Lviv, the power of 5 fruits, one of the most powerful antioxidant supplements on the market today. The 5 superfruits in Lviv are mangosteen, acai, pomegranate, goji, and nuni. These fruits have a positive and profound impact on human health performance and disease. Join him as he gives live testimonials of the Lviv healing powers. To get more information, you can contact Pastor Alkaline John at 516-286-7079 or you can visit his webpage at www.alkalinejohn.com. Remember,
every Tuesday from 11:05 a.m. to 12 noon and every Thursday night from 8 to 9 p.m.
live on The Street 919 FM.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
We are back.
So members of the pavilion, remember when you call in, first tell us if in your opinion we are serious about crime in Trinidad and Tobago, about solving crime. Have we been serious? And give me some type of evidence why you know, to back up why you say what you say. You know, it is our belief, this is my assertion, that we've been flirting with the issue of crime.
Yeah, it's a sexy topic.
It's something to put in the budget too.
Yeah.
4 van, 3 car, 2 gun,
$4 billion,
2 boots.
Yeah.
We will get them fellas something, and we will go there.
Caller.
Good evening, the Empire. And how you guys doing today?
We excellent. More so hearing from you, my friend.
All right, thank you. So I appreciate the fact that, you know, this conversation, because up here, we have confidence as law-abiding citizens and citizens on the overall to report a crime, call 911 without repercussion, without fear that the so-called criminals will know who it is. And the question that I want to ask, does Trinidad have, the citizens have that confidence in the police system or the judicial system? Because if I live in Trinidad and I report a crime, would I get repercussion? Would I know if any rogue police officer will see me and report me back to the criminals? And we could put any policies in place, but if we don't have that confidence and that relationship with the police in order to be able to speak freely, what kind of system they have in Trinidad for safe housings? That if I witness a murder, that I guarantee my family's safety. Because the geographic in Trinidad is a small place. And people, and let me be for real, right? You as a parent will know who is your baby mom, baby daughter, father. But neighbors will know before you, because the investigation skills are there and the observation are there. But if they see crime and they see the gunmen and they see the drug block and they're not safe to report it to the police without having repercussion, then we just spilling top in mud, as we say.
So, caller, before
we do it,
So before you go on, I want you to answer the question that we posed. Do you think we are serious about it? From what you have seen, from what you know about the different times, and this goes whether the batting or bowling side. Do you think as a country we have been serious in treating with crime?
Because so far, the way how the crime escalated, no, they're not serious. Because there are so many things and so many models they could follow. But if the crime is a business, and people are getting benefit, monetary benefit from it, why change the system? How come we have better guns in the criminal hands than the police hands? All right, guys, look on this now.
Yeah. A sober but humbling view from the caller. The society really wants to solve crime. Is the culture of the police service the one that doesn't allow for citizens to come forward? Yeah? Because when they make the call, well, the police know a number call, and they have an idea, it's Dora, and the citizen feel that the man on the corner might have somebody on the inside. And say, I hear, because you hear stories about a man say, but when they call the police and report the crime, somebody call and say, I hear a report to you. You hear stories like that. I don't know how true it is, but you hear stories like that.
And make no mistake, right? When we talk about the police service, sometimes the innocent and the good, hard-working police officers get painted with the same brush. But let me look at them as employees.
Yeah.
They have people who manage them.
Yep.
They have people with all kind of badge. You ever see their shoulder? Nice, decorated. They wear khaki.
Yeah.
And their responsibility is to manage. Manage the rogue ones. Manage the ones who are under pressure. Manage the ones who didn't get promoted. Manage the ones who overworked. There are people who are paid and remunerated to manage these issues.
Well, again, we're going back to culture. Does the police service have a culture that would encourage officers to really give their all when they go to work? Does the culture exist, so there's nepotism? I remember once the Baton side now had recommended $1 million for any officer who died in the line of duty or something like that. I don't know where that reached, how far we are with that, if it dropped for the last 10 years or so. But is the culture in the police one that would encourage you, officer, to go outside there and give your all? The Homeland Batsman was talking about they have no bulletproof vests. The shoes have hole in it, water going in the shoes. The car, instead of running on 4 plugs, running on 3 plugs and something that to push it. And he said a number of things. Yes, he said a number of things. So he is saying from an equipment standpoint,
we're not serious.
The radios they're working, have the radios, the officers have to use their personal cell phone to make calls now. And so on. And we try to figure out with all this budgetary allocation, why has the service deteriorated to that extent? Really and truly. Based on what Homeland was saying, radio working man to use their cell phone, the car bunks up, 2 lights are working, and people will be telling them, how you gave me like ticket for light for yours are working, yours break, as the case will be. No bulletproof vest, man, free to go outside there.
Christmas time, you'll see plenty groceries and then pack up.
I don't watch no police trunk, no groceries pack up.
Nothing in trunk in the car.
It's on the back, so you can see it through the glass.
Yeah.
You see it through the glass.
Big siren.
Yeah. But
I mean, all of these are anecdotal observations, right?
But we need, listen, in a modern society, you cannot have one person responsible for managing crime. A commissioner of police alone responsible for a country's crime. That is ancient. That is dinosaur by nature. You must have multiple agency with agency heads that are responsible for crime in a country that want to consider itself developing or modern. You got one commissioner of police and he or she alone responsible for giving everybody the precept or the authority to do arrest one man. That's the first policy decision Homeland Batsman have to bring to the parliament to demonstrate that he's serious about solving crime. You see that policy of saying no one man in Trinidad is responsible for crime. A commissioner of police for all of Trinidad and Tobago, and he's no. You have your role to play, brother. But there are 3 or 4 other agencies that could arrest your officers also.
Like them problem.
Could arrest your officers if your officers involved in something, could arrest, charge, take them before the court. That is when. So I'm looking at policy from the executive that says we're serious about solving crime and shifting the paradigm a little bit from a policy standpoint now. They say now one commissioner, we talk about firearm license, FULs and so forth. Why one commissioner of police? One person, let's put it that way, one office, him alone and his pen alone is responsible for giving people precept, which is the power to arrest, giving persons FUEC, to have firearm in the private in private industry, to give people FUL. Why one person alone? Are we mad? Are we after 60 something years old? We common sense doesn't embrace us in any way to say that don't make sense?
Stand your ground.
So a lot of policy decisions have to be made by Homeland Security in the parliament to show that I'm shifting this paradigm, that no one person should be responsible for all of this. And this why, so if that person is incompetent, then the whole thing falls. because we will lay the responsibility of solving crime on one person that may be in
But they're very well qualified and there are plenty.
Let me tell you something. It have some people end up commissioner of police based on qualification, not on capacity to so do it, not the ability to manage men, to solve crime, to be tactical, to be strategic. Anybody could write. Let me tell you something.
Real deep there, man.
Anybody could write a good thesis on how to solve crime, you know. Put them outside there and say, manage that 6,000 men outside there and motivate them to solve crime. There's a different aspect, you know, of solving crime, the ability to so motivate people to so do. You can have how much qualification you can motivate people to rally around you. To go outside there and say,
but the complaint from the
just now, Iwatsky and Gibbs was super qualified, you know. Half the term they run out of tongue.
The complaint from the common guys that the bookmen just get the big work, the big promotion. Because while we out there on the street, right, he going law school. Yeah. He not working 72 and 48.
He running through no track.
Nah,
he get no more than he boots.
No, he like this.
A man never spit on him yet.
Nah, he like this. And when it comes for promotion, he going forward in front of me. He has the theory. But when rubber hit the road, we have a problem. Can we say, callers, have we been serious about crime in Trinidad and Tobago?
Callers, we have a number of callers. What we're trying to do today is let everyone get inside. So we try and limit people to a 3 minutes sector, because I apologize really and truly to the pavilion, because
and
some
we want
people,
especially new callers.
Yeah.
Give the new callers.
Get through and so forth.
Yes.
People
Make
have
your
been,
point, whether you agree. Are we serious or not?
Caller, welcome.
Hi, good evening. I already called to tell you something else, but let me see what we're talking about here. You know why the police don't get no support from the public? Because the police bring that on themselves. The police does operate with the public like bullies. The police is like bullies. You ever get stopped by a police and hear how the police just talk to you? Like if you commit the worst crime. Imagine to get stopped for a seatbelt. You don't want a seatbelt and hear how them police just talk to you. Nobody don't want to nothing. People are going to go to police as a last resort. Nobody don't want to hear police right now. Police, you have men like men on a block and police pull up and running big men home like even Wilton, and all they want the public to communicate with all this. So the thing we're missing in this picture is the public participation. You will hear people talking all kind of things. They will call in on the phone and talk about what is good and what is wrong, and they. But you'll never get them cooperating with the police, because the police are like bullies in this country. They don't know how to speak. I don't know, to me, like they get brainwashed, you know, like in the academy, like they just brainwash them. So they have this kind of colonial kind of mentality. And when you put power in their hand and the people that have it, they could do you anything, they could talk to you anyhow and all kind of thing. Just imagine, I get stopped in a roadblock because I driving with bareback at night. Going all the road to me, while the place making hotter. I don't know what's going on night, but the place making hot. And then the air condition in the car. Well, I have a jersey in the car, you know, on the back of the seat, because I never to if it could shut down or whatever. So I have a jersey in the car still. And I get stopped in a roadblock, and they're asking me about jersey why I have bareback, and I explain it to them. You know, I find that the way how they talk to me, I was a big man, and the way they talk to me, I was not satisfied with how I was being addressed. So I went in a station to find out if driving bareback is against the law or not. Here with this dotish, he's an officer, a corporal, and it is a corporal and a normal officer. The normal officer had more sense than the corporal. I tell you it straight up. Here where he will tell me now, if I beg because the police ask me a question, I say no, I ain't beg because the police ask me a question. I come here to ask you if it's against the law or not for me driving bareback in my personal vehicle. He asked, he had a stupid question, he go ask me if I go in the bank bareback. I say no, I won't go in the bank bareback. Well, you see, I say, but I go be stupid to go in the bank bareback. I say, but I can't go in the bank bareback, but I can go in the fast service bareback. I say, so what are you talking about? You want a class chalk and cheese. The other officer who lower than he try explaining to me, well, no, you really have a low faith and thing, but it's not presentable because churning the road. What I had to do with me? I drive in my personal vehicle. Why I have to do with people on the road? So long as I don't break the law, it's all well and good for me.
Excellent.
Anyway, let me leave
So
that in because
culture.
I hear you press for time. But I just
Culture.
want to tell the public something here now. You see, when you're going in the airport to meet anybody, wait until the people call, and when they come outside, and let them wait for you. Because the people up in the airport, they now get on real notice. Real notice.
So
I pick up my sister just now. I learned something today, went to pick up my sister just now. And she wanted to get KFC. As we leave in the airport, she wanted to get KFC. So I drop her back. And I keep making wrongs and wrongs. I will stop a minute, make her wrongs again, because I don't want to get in these people here. Because you know when power in a man and all that, you want stupid. You know, still, the last time I stopped waiting for her again, I wait for a minute. As they come into me, I said, you can't start the drive, but they tell me, no, wait. You know them going to give me a ticket because I driving wrong and stopping. They say, the mere fact that you're stopping, you're breaking the law over and over. I say, what do you mean? I don't know the runners are up here. And I explain to them. They say, when I stop, I break the law. I say, but I was making wrongs. They say, well, that will bring it to their attention. The wrongs that I'm making and stopping is going to bring it to their attention. So that is why they come and ask me for my license. Thank God. Like good sense people, and they ain't give me no ticket. But this is the kind of thing we're going on out there with the public. That's why public does not no respect for police and no respect for people in authority, because they are bullies. So all that be going on with me, they'll be putting up at the fence. Right?
Caller, before
so
you leave, no, caller, before you leave, I want you to answer our question. Do you believe as a country we have been serious with crime?
No.
Alright.
No, we ain't serious with crime.
Alright, cool.
He want to drive bareback. Alright, okay. Do anything. Do anything.
Caller, welcome.
Good afternoon, gentlemen, and good afternoon to your listeners.
Afternoon.
For a very long time, we have been serious about crime.
Thank you.
Right? And in so many different categories, we lack in what really is necessary to get a handle on crime. That persons who choose to commit crime will be aware that more than likely you will get apprehended and have to face a consequence. But we're really not serious. If you were serious, we would have already known how much it takes to get camera in all these public spaces in Tobago, and the same thing in Trinidad also. We would have already tried to increase accountability by ensuring that every police officer, once you're coming out on the road to face the public, must have on your body camera, right? And put penalties for you failing to do so, and penalties for if you're trying to tamper with the footage, right? These are the kind of things that serious places do, right? So, but we're really not serious. We're really not serious, because every year is billions of dollars in national security. I doubt it would take all of that to put some cameras on these setup posts that we have all over the country. These Tiantec posts, we're really supposed to be already trying to transform that and all. But as it there, put it to use. Camera down the space so you have real-time footage to face to send to the people who operating on the streets. But no, we will invest plenty of our efforts and our emotions in things like what the last caller just called and talk about, right? The traffic offenses. And also we go run down a man like Christmas List, who really didn't commit any crime and didn't call anybody to come on his camera, right? But we go use our resources in that manner, knowing fully well that we have greater challenges, greater problems. As you said, who is going to deal with the cause, not just the effects? Who is going to address the cause? We need to separate the force from the service, right? So we can understand, the police can understand when it is time to offer service and when it's time when the force is required. Because sometimes they just mix it up on trivial matters. So.
Excellent 3 minutes contribution, caller. You too kind. Thank you.
Customs and police officers have discovered meth and marijuana in a central transit shed worth 2.8 million combined. A statement by Customs said that the meth weighed 0.52 kilograms and has a street value of 1.3 million. The marijuana, weighing 5.86 kilograms, has a street value of 1.5 million. The drugs were found on Monday. Customs did not say where in Central the shed was located.
Now, so this is what I'm getting at. So customs have a role and responsibility. They work those stuff at 4. Investigative powers and so forth, expanded role, the resources too. So each institution can focus on different aspects, but you have one man, he dealing with burial, he dealing with traffic, he dealing with roadblock, he dealing with the man who thief the mango. What we doing?
So
what we doing?
So the mark says the shed don't have an owner. We better carry the shed to court.
Let me take a caller.
Okay.
Caller, welcome.
Are we serious, caller? Are we serious?
We are not serious.
Thank you. Go ahead.
We are not serious. If we are serious, we use roadblock to try and eradicate or ease the conflict, because I believe that parenting motorists plays an important role to find that problem. Nobody wants to they want to talk everything, pricing of it, everything. I'm a driver. I'm a driver.
Right.
But I mean, if there is somewhere, I'm interested in us. We concerning water. If you do what you have to do, you don't have no problem with the people on the roadblock. You don't have no problem with the people on the roadblock. Another thing is, we parents have an individual position to play in dealing with them. There will some problem. Get up and go and do the studies, do that which is right and encourage and lead and point to do the same. These are important things. We only blame one another. But if we individually getting in our home is going to do the right thing, and everything just going. Let us do the right thing and just right. Because when the law comes down on us, we will always find problems. There will always be problems. We will always find law this, and they shouldn't do that, and they shouldn't do this. But we are not able to understand. Locked on and listen.
Thank you, caller.
Caller say we're not serious. That is what we want to hear. Are we serious? Yes or no? Tell us why.
Caller, welcome.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I just want to engage you a little bit, because you asked a question just now about crime, and you make a statement just now about driving bareback. I want to ask you personally, if you have a problem with driving bareback, and if so, what law it have on the books about driving bareback in your private vehicle? I want to know that. You see, we just put plaster over sores. That's why the country in a tailspin. You see, if it's not against the law, there should be no problem with that. I understand it is taxi and wherever it is, well, that's different. But you in your private vehicle, and them talking to you like bullies, and you see when all that giving support to this kind of thing, it would make things go wrong and wrong.
Yeah, I know taxi drivers have a dress code, but a private vehicle, there's no guideline for it.
Private vehicle. Your private vehicle is your private vehicle. You understand? But when you put in plaster on sores and trying to cover up and make things look as though everything the police and whoever it is do right, that way are the country going at a tailspin, because nobody listening to people in the ground. Everybody feel educated and they have all the sense in the world. So wherever they say, it's gospel. I don't operate like that.
Correct is right.
God bless you.
Thank you, caller. Taking the law into their own hands. That would
From the pavilion, tell us whether you feel we have been serious about crime from what you have seen, from the little you have observed, and tell us why you say what you say.
President Villager, talk to us.
Yes, sir. I'm now saying like this. like this 81 number far from all you?
No. We have a lot of calls coming on. That's why we're trying to limit persons to 3 minutes. A lot of people have begun
calling
bump
on
off.
this number, and it's open. And everybody else calling, and it seems like it's coming in on the 91 number. But this one open for calling long time, and if nobody answering it, I say it's far from you.
Now it's coming on the...
Is the 81 number?
Is the 81 number?
Anyway,
Go ahead, yeah.
Anyway, just understand me, you know what I mean? Now, the whole conversation going well, you know. You ask the question if we serious. And now again, the gist of the thing, because I stand up enough to listen. If we serious, yes, the society is serious. But although the society is serious, because you have to remember there is two kinds of people. There is a good and a bad. Yes, plenty of the good, the innocent, all that, what we like to say, yes, we serious. But how serious could we be when the bad, in some respect, have the authority and opposing the system? When yesterday I said tyrannic state, when I say, and you know, about brutish rule, brutish authority rule. Now, not only Trinidad and Tobago, look how the police treat the citizens, especially black citizens in America, South Africa, them places, and then look how they just treat them. If they're treating us like that, what you expect on the end, and in the event of things, I'm telling you, we don't make gun, we don't make bomb. Who making gun and bomb? Who encouraging it? Is the people of tyrannic state and brutish people. The heads, all right, let me put it straight up on top so we don't know exactly the G7. Now, coming from there straight down the line, what we have to live in this is the same slave condition that is encouraged from quite up on the G7. What we live in presently, and you say if we like it how it is or however it is, no, we don't like it how it is. What plenty of us could do about it? You think the police really like what's going on? Plenty of them is like we who don't like it. But the truth and the matter is, them can't do nothing. They under a law. Somebody said earlier on, the schools, they go to the academy. What they learn to rule in tyrannic state, rule that forget certain things, but see about certain things. Gary Griffith is a good experience to us. We remember when he went down somewhere down in the west down there, and he went on and he made an attack. They stopped him. And when he moved and come out from there, where he came into the black community. Watch these things. I am talking about the gun that's coming in, and that's where I think this morning I heard on phone, and he opposing that because he know the difficulty that's going to happen because he see it. This is a brother that could come back in, but his attitude and the way he took calling people cockroach, all of that won't cockroach alone. And when he want to put some big tankers up in Lavanchi, is the thing that we don't like him for.
So
he's supposed to come different after running out from the West and coming in the African community. And we watch him differently.
Prezi?
Yeah, so there's a lot of things. He might not really talk. There's a lot of things we have to watch. The people of themselves have to get up and rise up as the slaves. We have to attack. If a man come to bully you, what you going to do?
Prezi, your contribution is kind.
We have to
listen to me. Yeah, so
we understand what he was.
We understand to a large extent.
Calling for a lot of civil action.
Yeah.
And again, we want to remind callers that we have a question we want you to answer.
Yep.
Before you go into your own, justification. We want to, have the conversation.
Keep it in line. We'll keep it in line.
Yeah, we because we don't want to be... people always discussing crime. Yeah. Every time you call on a show, we don't want it to be exercises.
So as we say, callers, 3 minutes is the limit.
Yeah.
Because
but you have to tell us, are we serious? From your point of view, from what you've read, from what you've seen, from the time you grew up to now, have we been serious about crime? And you tell us why yes or why not. In your view.
See how you want to define serious about crime? If you want to say, I mean, if I'm serious about crime, if I'm playing my role relative to crime alleviation in some way, or if I'm condoning,
are we playing lip service? Are we flirting with crime?
No, but sometimes does the environment allow us to participate in the solving of crime? Is it a friendly environment, or one that deters us based on the structure and the management of crime? Situations, you know, you have a circumstance make me what I am. So I'm saying, like, see that, I see that, you know, but here, what if I go to get involved, I may end up being a victim of crime. So I stay away. Do we have an enabling environment for persons and the public to participate? So I hold the man now when the man fighting, I hold the man, next thing, he come for me, he say, I know your face, you know, coming for you. Who's here to protect you? Caller, welcome.
Are they cut off there or?
Yeah, 3 minutes thing, you cross 5 minutes going down the road there. So 3 minutes, you was going.
All right, well, I was
3 minutes.
I must didn't make it out anyway, because I didn't have no radio, otherwise I'm listening to the phone.
Yeah, I was trying to call you while you were talking, but you were so concentrated on your discourse that
is very important with what I'm doing, because what I'm doing basically is telling us a consciousness that many of us wouldn't come to talk about. We wouldn't talk it.
Well, I think you have to get a program, you know. You had a radio program, you know, Prezi.
Well, your program is the program that bring in the thoughts and all the bacchanal. So, and I am just a little man. So I have to be heard. I have to be appreciated. If I am not being appreciated, we go down the road of the time that noticiousness is going down with nobody able to have a vision. The vision is important.
Agreed. Thanks, caller. Good. So a societal culture. Prezi is talking about a culture in the society that says, hey, it is okay if you see what's wrong. You just see, if you see what's wrong, say what's wrong or something like that. If you see something, say something. At whose detriment?
You see that?
But at whose detriment? In Trinidad, the people will say, yeah, I hear you, at whose detriment? At whose detriment have we created or provided an enabling environment for the public to so participate?
And give information.
Have we done that? Have we created... Caller, welcome.
Hey, good evening, the Empire. Again, I'm going to be real quick. Yeah, that phrase, see something, say something. Here in America, I have confidence in seeing something and saying something without repercussion. But the other thing that I realize why Trinidad is not serious on crime, how could a person on a narcotics, just a little bit of the cannabis, be in prison and waiting 10 years for a case? And that is one of the problems. That case is supposed to be going quick. You can have a case now with robbery, and 5 years they're still in prison without having a case calling. And that is another factor. It's a whole system, you know. But as I say again, who making the money with prisoners? Which company making the money? Crime is a business in Trinidad, and it will take a lot to get rid of this stigma where we have. All right, guys.
I hear you. Yeah. So there's a whole systemic problem callers talking about from the pavilion, you know, and the batsman in national security is not a frontal attack, you know. Frontal attack is not strategic, you know, because we've seen you coming. The batsman in national security, yes, have to use some diagonal approach in solving crime, running in. Many men have run in before and will run out because they ran in. So the strategy is a whole cultural change strategy, not only in the police service, but in the society, and giving the society that comfort that saying something and seeing something is worth something in promoting your safety and your children and family safety.
We only see when the police do it. When the police do it, we see. And when you look, I would want to find out, because I don't know.
But in which communities? Okay, I hear what you're saying.
We don't show up at police complaints, right?
But
after we see and we perform on the TV and willy, and yes, we see Selvon do it.
Yes, sir. Well, you see, I like defining the thing and pulling all the data together.
Yeah.
In which communities is as Gary said, the lady in the 90s that's come out and say that. And the question is the person who's saying that a participant or condoning for some reason that behavior? You understand? So I wouldn't broad-base that as the norm or the rule of thumb in Trinidad. It's just some selected community that this behavior prevails, and that person who so make those comments and statements when police is making arrest probably a beneficiary in some way, so they have reasons for making that, but it's not the rule of thumb in Trinidad. Every community, I never see nobody in Debe or Shoguanas in Felicity say, me and they'll be saying something, they'll be saying, and so forth. You understand? So, we must create, and I go back to it, one, policy decisions from Homeland. I must see policy because he's only responsible for policy. He can arrest nobody. So, he talking about when the street, something up with the street, when they control the street, the Ministry of National Security to control the street. The police service. I want to hear from the Commissioner of Police what plans he have, not in detail, but you have intention of doing something about crime. Is the Commissioner of Police?
So you feel we serious?
I haven't seen no demonstration of any seriousness yet. Okay. Anyway, I've seen posturing. A lot of posturing and so forth.
Somebody pawn the uniform, like he could play.
Look nice.
Look nice.
Yeah.
The boots well slick.
But in terms of our overarching policy, I remember one minister of national security, a batsman from previous vintage, talk about you have to look at the architecture.
That sound good.
Yeah. You have no pen to draw.
That sound
the architect, you have no pen to draw. So what I'm saying, I'm looking at policy now. The police service exists. The police service commission exists. The custom and excise exists. The local government police exists. The private security police exists because the precepted have carry gun, have the powers of arrest, exists. Custom and excise exists. I want to see policy.
As I said, customs. You fix the scanners on the port yet?
And they say causing cancer, they can't use it. It's working yet.
They can't use the scanner?
I don't know.
You need a special scanner for Trinidad?
We are to find out probably what coming in Trinidad different. It's different.
So Trinidad is a special place then?
Of course it's special because we have one commissioner of police for everything. He's lord of all he survey and we making sense. We intelligent. Really intelligent.
How much places he has had to be in the same time?
Yes, one commissioner.
When it on his desk.
Let me tell you, I want to talk directly to the batsman from Homeland Security. Batsman, policy, directive is what we need from you in terms of shifting the paradigm. You can only do so much as the policy maker to change culture in the police service. But you're in a position to establish with your colleagues in the parliament policies, yes, that could shift the paradigm to some extent. But where you are right now, you're limited in terms of the detection of crime. The police service that you're limited in your control over, the commissioner of police must be involved. For overall view and decision making relative to solving crime in this little piece of rock that we on and playing with beating up and so forth, unless you do not incorporate all the other ministries, we cannot solve crime and criminality operating in silos. Ministries cannot operate in silos unless you don't bring in Ministry of the People, Community Development, we call them again? So Ministry of Sports.
Over there and I over here.
No, because all of them have a part to play in one, the genesis, Yes, and the revelation of crime in communities, but it starts somewhere. But if you feel getting more tank and truck and shoot to the head and all kind of things, that is self-crime. It may slow you down to some extent, and the creative, they'll find out. Because we have white collar that we feel the man on the block is the only criminal in Trinidad, you know. It have the man, let me tell you who is the criminal outside there. You see the companies that are not paying NIS for the workers? Inland Revenue should have the powers of arrest. When you go in Inland Revenue in a company, and you realize the company didn't pay, don't call them fraud squad, arrest the people now. You understand what I'm saying? They are criminal too. So the white collar crime of it prevails and create cultures that are detrimental to Trinidad, cause people to go and thief and all kind of thing because the employer robbing people. There are a lot of crime taking place that we feel only the fella who bring in the little weed is the criminal. So it's a broad-based approach we have to take if we want to talk crime and stop looking at the fella down the road by the block because you are three-quarter pants, he's the only criminal. There's the fella in the tie and the jacket who committing some serious crime that have this country where it is today.
I noticed you wear your jacket today. I noticed you wear your jacket today. And the next jacket man ain't come yet.
Right? So, crime and criminality, we know you had the whistleblower legislation they were talking about because some people recognize it as the man in the office really committing a lot of crime. Right? The man who not paying the workers on time and telling them, the government they pay me yet, so you can't get paid yet. Like if when I come to work by you, you say I only get paid when you get paid.
Caller, are we serious?
Caller?
I will say those years in the sense that really and truly, you see the poor man goods, the people who that really make, the same we make a slave. You see, we words is not being heard, and we ideas not being appreciated. So anything that we go into, we stay enslaved, perpetuating, not standing up against the tyrannic bully. And don't care what all you may say, the education place of Trinidad and Tobago, UWW, whoever they call it, the political faculties of those places, they carry the order of running this country. Education. Those house slaves of all of them who keep the system as it is. Yeah, these are the people.
Thank you, caller.
And this number 91 is working too good.
No, we don't use 91 again. We don't use that. We don't use that.
Well, there's the one I think I'm calling on right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that gives trouble, so we don't really...
Yeah, getting trouble, and that's why I say, when I'm using the 81, I ain't getting through.
Okay. All right. Thanks, caller. Thanks. Good. Caller, welcome.
Good night. Yeah. I seen the crime situation since a long time.
Right.
Since Manning was there was crime. Pandy was there was crime, but not like this.
Correct.
Right? No, it had method they had in place that it used to have. Crime will always be there because you wouldn't find everybody to be one, but it would not be like how it is now. Right? If you bring the right thing at the right time, that's when that happens. Right. Now, when Griffith tells, no, Dr. Ori had no right to fire Griffith. Griffith was having the crime under control. Many things, what you will do if the children going bad, what you will do if something go bad, you will try to see how you could fix it for things that go more bad. You fire the man, the country gone through. When the man tell you, I will give you an advice, I will give you a help, no matter you fire me. You say you don't want no advice. When Camera, the opposition, say, I will give you an advice what we should do, you say, I don't want no help. No, I'm not UNC, I'm not CNN, I am for the crime in the country. Because they fall over by the young, the old, the baby, all poor children, they get gunned down in the Becker constituency sleeping. Right? Good. So what the opposition has to do now, do the same good thing and support something good for crime. When all you have all the meeting, I didn't look at the meeting because I am no party. All the balling and jumping up, man and woman, all the hand on the air. All the big people, all the educated, we have played Kamla, we have played Kamla, we have played Kamla. This is at the time of that. A young fella is a chicken, now come out of an eggshell. He can't walk good, but the balling, we want war, we want war, we want war. Now the opposition want crime, they want war, they're not supporting, they're not showing the country something. What you want the young people to do, or you do something better, try and do something better, I just call another program and say, Alexander, come out, where the commissioner is, let the commissioner say something. Go to the mighty woman like a first man, you can't do yet. The needy place in a mess and empty, but say something.
Thank
so
you.
The criminals will do something coming.
Thank
so
you,
the
caller.
opposition promoting crime.
Thank you. Point taken, you too kind. Thank you.
Callers, please answer the question.
Caller.
Callers, please answer the question. You know one of no, being serious. You know one of the things why I notice with Trinidadian, we have 9 days memory. And we don't take things serious and hold people to account.
Talk to me.
This man put a put in his head at Homeland Security. You ever hear any reporter ask him a question if he was involved at the total shutdown of the country at the anybody ever asked you that? Nobody asked you that, just glorifying him now. And prior the man they have at the side of here, I find him something like he's a police or like he have police family or something before I find he kind of leaning to the left. But these are the things that are going on with the population or they're taking advantage. But what make people feel that Trinidadians still thinking like if they're in 1958, you know. The people who didn't have sense that time have sense now. The people who couldn't vote that time could vote now. And they ain't taking the choppiness that we grandparents and before taken up. There's a different thing with the limit, you know. They always want to treat the population like if they're children. Want to tell you what to do, what you mustn't do, and passing law in you know to it. So all it take all your time. Don't just look at all your toe. Look at the distance ahead. Because of something, it's a good program, you know, it's a good topic, but I don't find it about balance. So it's a good thing the public talking out of. And if you ask a question why people not going to the complaint people when they think why they're not appearing, because the police sending people to kill them. What are they talking about Rowley firing Gary Griffith? That is the best thing Rowley ever do. If you have a commissioner could call citizen cockroach, he's not supposed to be in office. I'm surprised all they gave him airtime on the air to speak still. These are the kind of thing we should be looking at and be looking at it with seriousness rather than just playing games and tiptoeing through the tulips.
Thank you, caller. Caller is on fire. Caller say you look like a police.
Me as you have to be talking about.
Yeah,
you like tall man.
Yeah, he looked like a police.
Yeah, you could be a ASP. You are the height for ASP. It can't be me. But you know, I just sell doubles. Everybody know that.
What's that? I saw police taking a double skirt, a double stand, and the promenade there.
Mind the advantage.
police again, eh? Nobody are committing a white-collar crime and so forth.
Apparently not.
Yeah. Policy is what we want to hear from Homeland Security, some serious policy debated in Parliament and so forth. I want to hear what the bowlers have to say about those policies. Homeland, your rule has changed, really and truly, and I know it's a painful thing to know you can't arrest nobody. You can only hope that those you're speaking to will arrest someone, as the case may be. All your authority in terms of the ability to so do have been given away. So is the Police Service Commission and the Commissioner of Police responsible for solving, deterring, arresting, taken before the courts. Now, someone mentioned the court system. Now, all that plays a part in crime and criminality, you know. Sometimes you go in there on an innocent, honest fella and you come out bitter, you know. You come out worse than you went in, you know, because of what you experienced, because you can't bid, because you can't drop the soap.
Well, we head into a drinks break. But we're going to change the question a bit in the last hour of the show. So, as a deterrent on intervention, the Prime Minister, the captain, has signaled...
Of the batting side.
Of the batting side, has signaled her intention to place police officers or some of these officers in high-risk schools. Come September, police officers will be placed strategically in high-risk schools. Give me your thoughts, give me your feelings about that. Good move, bad move, good, bad, bad, good, any combination when we come back from drinks break. Police officers in high-risk schools.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills on the street 919 FM.
Whoever said messy was a bad thing totally missed the point. Take that hit song everyone loves now. It probably started like this. Baby, calm down. That's why KFC is celebrating the messy moments with our Messy Cruncher and Messy Zinger sandwiches for only $34.95. Imagine a crunchy, golden brown, flavorful chicken sandwich sauced to perfection with our signature sweet, spicy, tangy sauces. Oh boy. So crunch into the deliciously messy moments today. Check socials for details. KFC, it's finger-licking good.
Get hot this summer. Oh no, we mean HUT, as in hot days mean hot deals with Pizza Hut. Get one large pizza plus single breadsticks for only $135, or go bigger with two large pizzas, family breadsticks, and cinnamon rolls for just $290. All your favorite pizzas with all the toppings you love all summer long. So head to the Hut and get your hot deals while this offer is super hot. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
Light up your weekends at Vibes Nightclub, Tobago's hottest spot. 3 epic nights of music and energy await every Thursday. Karaoke Thursdays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Grab the mic, unleash your inner star, and sing all night. Beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and giveaways for the best singers. Every Friday, Limers Fridays. Kick off at 8 p.m. with free entry. Vibes with your crew and enjoy beers on special for $10, 2 Campari for $25, and 2 White Oak for $25. Every Saturday, Raw Saturdays. Everything goes, nothing but good vibes, free entry, and an all-star DJ cast to bring the vibes. Vibes Nightclub is where Tobago shines. Join us Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for music, fun, and unforgettable nights. Don't miss out. Your weekend starts at Vibes.
Get hot this summer. Oh no, we mean HUT, as in hot days mean hot deals with Pizza Hut. Get one large pizza plus single breadsticks for only $135, or go bigger with 2 large pizzas, family breadsticks, and cinnamon rolls for just $290. All your favorite pizzas with all the toppings you love all summer long. So head to the Hut and get your hot deals while this offer is super hot. Pizza Hut, now that's delivering.
We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We rollin' big when the jackpot hit. We We rolling big when the jackpot hit. Play way fast cash, that is the fit. We rolling big. Fast cash and play way take win. No extra spend, just vibes and luck. Play way and fast cash turn up. We rolling, yes we rolling big. Fast cash and play way take win. Mega mix or monster pick. Jackpot from 10,000 quick.
Jackpot starting at $10,000 have now been added to NLCB's Playway and Fast Cash games. Wager on Playway Mega Mix or Fast Cash Monster Draw for a chance to win the jackpot after every draw. Don't miss out. Visit nlcbgames.com for details. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly.
The Gap Man Limited specializes in products that cater to all your health needs. The Male Enhancement Package targets the areas of the body that contribute to erectile dysfunction. The Male Enhancement costs $1,400. The Gap pills are priced at 250 pills for $500 and 500 pills for just $900. For the best in eye care, get the super combination of a Super Bright and the Body Healer. To improve the heart's function and circulation, get the Gap pills and Formula C. To get a total body cleanse daily, use the Gap Body Healer and Big C, all for a super low price of $1,300. To order your products from the Gap Man Limited, call 628-4531 for products that cater to all your health needs.
For more info, contact 476-7268.
Planning your Tobago getaway? Choose the highest Google-rated car rental company on the island, O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago. Located just minutes from the A&R Robinson International Airport, at O'Neill, we pride ourselves on being the most tech-savvy car rental company in Tobago. Our process is 100% digital. No paperwork, no long lines. From easy pickup to seamless returns, renting a car in Tobago has never been simpler. WhatsApp us now at 1-868-361-1042 to book your vehicle. Don't forget to mention promo code RADIO2 to receive a 5% discount on your rental. Send a WhatsApp message to 1-868-361-1042 today. That's 1-868-361-1042. O'Neill Auto Rentals Tobago, the easiest, most reliable car rental experience on the island.
Vehicle availability is subject to change. Driver must be at least 25 years old and have a valid driver's license to book. For more information, visit www.rentalcartobago.com.
Are you tired of scratching the surface? Do you want to understand the real forces shaping Trinidad and Tobago? From the delicate dance of our energy sector on the global stage, to the geopolitical shadows behind the crime affecting our streets, we dig deeper. The third umpire goes beyond the headlines. We connect the dots between local challenges and the international currents that truly impact your life, your wallet, your security. Join Stephen Matheson, Selvin Mitchell, and Ronaldo Rollux, 3 employment law and human resource management consulting professionals, as they unpack the complexities, analyze the power plays, and reveal the often hidden realities. Understand the game. Understand your role in it. The third umpire, critically analyzing Trinidad and Tobago's economic and political realities on how they affect your daily lives. Tune in Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on The Street 919 FM. Don't just listen to the news. Understand it.
Share the live. Share the live. The Street 919 FM on Facebook and Instagram. Share the live. Iowa George on Instagram. Share the live. Iowa TV and Street TV on YouTube. Share the live. The Street 919 FM.
We are back from the umpire's box to the umpire. Question.
So the captain of the batting side said she has seen too many footage on social media of these school children engaging in serious acts of violence.
Yeah.
There have been a plethora of video postings, pictures of school children in and outside the school, both places, engaging in serious acts of violence, resulting in serious issues of bullying, suicide, bodily harm, serious injuries. that child on the ground on the floor is somebody's daughter or son. That child is stamping on. Didn't drop from Mars. And you could understand the link between that and criminal activity. Because the brother who don't have all the passes, you know, you just have a brother who don't have all the passes. He don't reason like that, you know. That is his sister. And he not waiting for all to figure it out what all they want to do with the child. But have some family members take matters into their own hands. Unfortunately, but I will add understandably. So the captain has said, listen, the time has come for us to step up with school security in particular schools. It's not every school this has happened. Now, you'll always have fights and disagreements with students, but the gravity of these particular incidences, not every school. So she wants to target these schools and make a targeted intervention by allowing them to interact and face the full brunt of the law. When you have acts of violence and threats towards each other, threats to staff, threats to principal, threats to parents. Now we know some of the people who might end up getting arrested are parents themselves. Do we agree? Police officers in schools, what say we?
Caller.
Hey, fellas, good evening. Real quick, without a doubt, we should have security personnel, official security personnel in the schools ASAP. That should have been taking place a long time ago. I mean, we have seen the videos on a show more so-called Beyond the Tape. You know, teachers struggling to hold back these young men and women from violently attacking each other. You know, I think we would have even heard reports years ago about students coming to school with weaponry. It's not even a question, you know, issues like these and the lack of logic is what has my mind frazzled and confused. Well, had my mind confused, so I will leave it there and allow other persons to come in and continue to listen to you guys.
Don't be surprised if some of these same parents will, no, don't bring in the police. She's a good girl. He's a good boy. He just didn't have no father. She's a good girl. She didn't get breakfast today. That's why she stabbed up the next girl. She having problems. What do we want in dealing with school violence? What do we want in dealing with these children? What do we want? Do we really want change? Do we really want a targeted intervention?
I think, let me give from my standpoint. Again, I always ask the question, if you want to solve the problem, and solving the problem is defining cause. Yeah, no problem. We are where we are. So yes, we put some level of security in the schools and they, I don't know how you define the high risk. I think there are data to support where most of the violence in the schools take place. I suppose there's empirical data to determine that we need an intervention, but it goes further than that, you know. Because if I can catch you in the school, I'll wait for you down the road by the parlor, by Mano shop.
By Malo shop.
By Mano shop, because I can catch you in the school, because I have police in the school. You understand? But if I catch you by Mano shop, what they go do? You understand? I catch you. Right? Or by Betty Bakery. So the police will be all over this following them. So yes, I can understand in first stopgap measure, I might say police in the school, but I always try to define what is the root cause of these schools? What's so intricate, what's so special then about these schools that we have to reach the stage of putting police in these schools? You digging me? Caller, welcome. Caller?
Yes, good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Well, I'll be very short, eh? Very, very short. I think things have gotten totally out of hand in those schools. And I think the MTS, they were the police, they were the security people or at the school. I don't think that they're up to the task. And you have to deal with it seriously, and therefore you need the police to be there to deter, not just to deter, and you know, those sort of misbehavior by those students. Also to prevent, because you have a situation where you have had persons going into the school to commit robbery, commit whatever it is, probably going after students who they may have interacted on the outside, right? So I think it's a good move, and it is the best practice. It is a practice that is used in the United States. I've seen it at schools, and merely to avoid or to prevent terrorism and that kind of thing, people get into the school and you have mass shootings and all that kind of thing. So I'm saying that I think that is a positive approach by the government to deal with the question of misbehavior or bad behavior within the schools. I have no problem with that. Thank you.
Good.
Okay. The caller say, water more than flour.
Put the police.
We reach.
Party done.
We reach where we going. So we need it.
Yeah.
We need that type of intervention. Again, you ask a critical question, and we will await to hear the definitions and the criteria.
Yeah.
Because if my school is so high risk, I go get jealous, huh? Because I could deal with some backup. I could deal with some backup.
Support.
Yeah. Remember, I didn't make the list, no?
But you don't want to make the list. So give me backup now.
I want to make the list because
you want to be popular.
It's support I want.
Yeah.
Because I have 10 like that school.
Yeah.
I had 3 of them.
Yeah.
But they're running havoc in the school. And daddy just come and cuss up the principal.
Yeah.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
And cousin say
I wonder, sometimes
here.
I wonder if ministries or government and so forth understand what is root cause analysis and so forth to engage. Let me see. Caller, welcome.
Hi, good afternoon, gentlemen.
Afternoon.
One question: the police officers that going to be placed in these schools, would they be armed?
I can't really say caller, so I don't really want to pronounce on that. And but being involved in it before, I know there are 2 theories at play. One says that there must be the soft side of policing, right? And the children should not be exposed to a school presence of firearm because it carries a stigma. I've heard that being involved in these cases and some of them before, where parents and members of society are against that. They want the soft policing, the plain clothes, or even if they have uniform, they are very casual and cavalier. Some people think that works. The other theory, the other school says, no. They need to see the full brunt of the law and what it looks like. It's a fallacy to say that these children don't know what firearms and police officers look like because they either interact with them in their communities and it's a reality. And it is the harsh reality that we're hoping jerks them back into alternative lifestyle. So I know that there are 2 competing views among parents and teachers as well about the whole issue of police being armed in the school. You could give your comments down.
Well, I personally believe it's a kind of waste of resources there because, I mean, just recently we had the minister saying how the as it relates to the amount of police they have, it's not enough. So if you're using that resources now in the school where you have trained people really who's supposed to be out there fighting crime, placing them in the schools, I don't think I don't agree with that. I would have preferred something like the army, because the army is using the civilian conservation corps where they have they're teaching the students and is under the same military presence. So I would have preferred somebody like the army or state police, but not trained police officers who are trained already. Saying based on what the Homeland Security Minister said that they're short on police officers. I think that is a waste of human resource.
Okay, so
good point, caller.
He's looking at it from a human resource point of view.
Yeah, yeah.
You know where they're getting these officers from. I mean, no, there is a community police unit already established in some of these communities. They visit schools on a regular, maybe not as regular, but they do patrols.
Caller, welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. Caller.
Yeah. The move to put police in the school is a positive one. But according to the First Empire, you more level-headed. Because if you put police in the school, it's good, yes. But what about when the children and them reach down by Mr. Natty shop? What all you have in place for that? It's a good move. So you see where I'm talking about balance of the program, that is what I'm talking about. One thing I want to say now, only don't take this the wrong way.
No
Please
problem.
don't take it the wrong way. I mean nothing bad. I feel that how the program was going before should have continued to the end, and this should be carried for another day. Because that high ball you built up before, and then all you come to throw cold water on it and come with this one now. I find it could have leave that for another day and continue with the topic we had before.
We appreciate your comments, caller.
So
really.
policing, it had that in the police service. Well, I learned something today. I go watch and see. Have a blessing.
Caller is a talk show critic. He understands, he's engaged, he's involved, he's monitoring and so forth.
All is fair, yeah.
But so, for the army, or is the army, do we have an army, military? That Civilian Conservation Corps, they do an excellent program silently and quietly, you know. And probably we have to examine how we can expand really on what they do in the school environment. But they do a pretty good job in terms of discipline, mental alignment of young people, as the case may be, and so. But they're quiet riot. Really and truly, those, I don't know if it's retired soldiers or army personnel, or if it's persons who are still serving, but in terms of instilling a level of discipline, sense of purpose, focus in young males. I went on 2 of the locations that they operate in, Shogunas and up Piako side, somewhere in the back up there, what they call it. And they do a good job, really and truly. So I'm saying, let us just broad base it and say police. There are a number of other creative solutions relative to school in terms of discipline that can be incorporated, and as young youths that they have in this Civilian Conservation Corps. Yeah?
Well, some of our texters are saying that they're not seeing us, they're hearing us. So Master Control, when that could just give us some advice on that. But you're right. We have always heard about these ex-soldiers, these retired soldiers, and some even present volunteer soldiers reaching out and asking, well, you know, we are part of the communities in which these schools are, you know, and we'd hate to think that it's out of control and we are just there, you know, as men, as trained soldiers and as mature men too. So these are not the young recruits, right? Because some of the recruits and some of the students might get into a lot of tango. So this is a lot more mature guys in the service. They have been seasoned parents themselves, and they have been asking about playing a greater role in the in the whole intervention strategy. I wait to hear. We are wait to hear what is the thinking behind the using the police. You know.
Let's take a caller. Caller, welcome.
Hello, good day.
Hi, you welcome. You're on the Empire.
Hi, I was just wondering, how is it that the U.S. could have law enforcement in the schools in full uniforms and Trinidad seem to have a problem with it? What is the difference with third world thinking and first world thinking?
We bright. We bright.
So
when it comes to soft policing, go ahead.
In the U.S., do they have their like firearm exposed, or how they do it? Tell me what you all do in the U.S. in schools and so.
Every school in the U.S. have armed officers in their full uniform. High schools, which will be considered comprehensive schools, will have 2 officers. Middle schools or primary schools will have 1. And it will have a rotating officer with AR-15s just in case the response.
You're not making.
What about the canine side of it? Every day?
The canine floats between schools doing drug search and bomb searches every day. So random schools during the district.
So they're not playing out there? They're not playing?
No.
Thank you, caller. Thank you. Thank you.
Are we serious? Do we know what we want?
PM on something there?
It's a serious issue.
And that is the standard rubric?
Maybe she has seen it as the root to some of the other problems we're having.
Caller, welcome.
Yeah, President here again. And that last Mr. we now talked it. He talked real well. You hearing me?
Yes.
Loud and clear.
All right, on the 81 line. Yeah, he talked well. And I was sitting down and all too and calculating this thing that I wouldn't even mind that it having the police. But what, and together with what the brother now talk, which is our best talk he talk there, together with that, it really, I looking at consultation and deliberation with children. The police and them with children. Teach them the ways of the police, the offenses, the penalties. Teach them. Once they teach them, because what I am observing in the society, even around where I live in and so forth, is that children really, in a psychological way, don't care about the police in a sense, because especially where nobody from the society talking about them to the police, and we are aware of what's going on there with that. So it's a whole kind of, the position of putting police is not bad, but consultation with children, having like classes with children and things in the police, so give them a much more awareness of the police in a real way, how they could go to juvenile, how they could go to the jail, how they could go to the court, show them so that they will know, and once they know, it might give them a right not to follow the crime. That is one. And then we're saying too, as community police, you having community police traveling the community, which should be a natural thing. So out of those community police, you have community police inside of the school. It's not necessary that you have to have a traffic police and criminal investigation department. You have the community police inside there, and if they're wearing a gun, could show up. Well, as much as what the last person just said, it is a good thing.
Good caller, thank you. So, you see, again, we talk communication and so forth. We're going to put police in school. What is the rubric of the police being inside there? Role, function, yeah? Outcome we're looking for is not just fighting, but should be more than that. We just saying this here, we don't know what is the framework purpose and intent and outcome. We say we're doing thing, and sometimes we have to understand the population now is a different one, you know. A different one that analyzing differently. If you tell me I'm going to put police in school, what, to show the children, to cuff them, we want a big picture of what is the outcome so we can measure success. If we just put them, I don't know what I'm measuring as yet. Okay, is it so there will be no fighting in the school? If that is it, no problem, you know, no problem. At least we know we're measuring that. Police is there, there's no more fighting. Yeah? So we achieve that objective in that regard. But we must clearly define what is the outcome we're looking for. Yes, and everybody on the same page to measure success or failure and to make recommendation there too, how we could improve what the outcome we're trying to achieve and we're not. Yeah?
What about the children?
Well, this is it. I don't know if the outcome is that the caller now say, President now say, in terms of having conversation with the children, in terms of, like, we talk the Civilian Conservation Corps is after class, or there must be a class where we, you know, long time in school, be careful what I'm going to say, long time in school, during my time, we had religious instruction. So there was a 45 minutes pavilion, the man watching me cook here. Every class, one day of the week had a 45 minutes where you had religious instruction from whatever faith-based organization you belong to, be the Baha'i, the Hindu, the Muslim, the Christian, the Baptist. So we had that person come in, and who is in the Baptist, who is in the this, you go in a different class, and you had a 45 minutes of religious instruction and so forth. So I say that to say this. If we say there will be a session, a class session of policing or conversation about life, lifestyle, self-development, self-worth, life skill, and so forth, being done in the schools now, as police is there, we could see short-lived the need for police to exist in the school. But as I say, I don't know the full gambit of the police existence in the school. I don't know, but I could pitch in and give some suggestion as to how we could really maximize on their presence in the school, if that not already part of their forte when they're in the schools. Well, we don't know. We're on the outskirts, on the periphery of this thing and so forth. But yes, putting them there, but it must be more than just putting them there to quell fighting, but to instill a level of self-worth, life skill in the young children that we have in those schools and bring out a better product at the end of the day and so forth. But it mustn't stop there. It must go further, but we're just dealing with the school. I could delve deep into it, you know, and it's not difficult.
Because there has been an argument that has a bit of merit, that principals and school administrations have been silent and complicit on criminal activity.
Well,
whether it be violence, whether it be drugs, I will give him a bly. And the student that they gave a bly, about 4 bly, the 5th bly, somebody was in hospital. He was a nice boy. We don't want, sir, we don't want any trouble. We don't want a mom. We're not going to the police station with this.
I went to school some time ago, a few years ago, and I went to one of the classrooms and so, being a teacher, and I saw children running on the desk, all kind of thing in the class, and I say, what going on there? He said, why you fed up at them, yes? So I had to bark at them and so forth, and they calm down and rap. They stopped running on the desk, and then they sit down behind the desk. The teacher was there, and they were doing that in the class. He went up desk, and Carlos, they doing their pelt a thing at him, and he jumped on the desk and ran across by the next time teacher.
Crazy place.
I say, well, teach, what going? As a male teacher, not a female.
Yeah.
Say, why you fed up at them? Yes, me had time. I put the work on the board. So we had to look at the whole thing in its holistic environment, you know. We can't isolate the thing, you know, and we're trying to chimp off peace.
But I want you to comment on the fact about police now, presence may set a standard for behavior that school administrations have been ambivalent towards, inconsistent, and very grey. This one gets suspended, that one get to come back. This one you get hold with marijuana, but he playing football. He get a blind. This one get hold with cigarette. He not playing football.
So we're saying inconsistency in the disciplinary procedure and so forth.
When it comes to things that tend border on criminal activity. Remember, this is not doing your homework, eh? That is not a matter for the police. You understand? This is not, you didn't follow the line on break time. We're talking about activities in schools.
Were you saying teachers and principals and deans condone these behavior from time to time?
Condone in the sense that they've been inconsistent because they have had the power of discretion. But what that leads to is that children don't get the consistent message of what is right and what. How come he get? I thought it had a zero tolerance policy on fighting, but them fight yesterday. You see, it's the same ambivalence that asks people if vending is illegal.
Yeah.
Because we don't know which rule applies.
Yeah.
So a principal who has all power to exact punishment according to the Education Act, right, and is in charge of compound and students, may find that in this particular situation, nah, boy, this don't worry, 7 days. Nah, you go talk to the two parents, they'll kiss and make up. And it might be acts of violence. One of those children should be, or their parents should be finishing a criminal charge. And maybe then we would see how serious it is. Maybe then some parents will not throw their hands up in the air and say, is Eric child like Eric grandchild? Is the government? Is the government? Because too many of our students are falling victims to some of these recurring activities. So you could almost go to school now and become a correct criminal in school because you control the weed. Nobody is telling nothing. The whole school hear about your cousin who was in jail. Teachers don't want to deal with you. We just leave you alone. We just trying, oh gosh, I don't want to deal with our father. Don't let her. But now it have Mr. Officer. Mr. Officer who has the power to act on behalf of the law. Not your feelings.
Okay. So the question I'll ask, we have security in schools right now.
Yeah.
They are precepted officers. The school is their estate. What would these officers do?
They are still under the remit of the principal.
No. We have MTS there.
They are still under the remit of the principal. The principal will sign for them to get the remuneration.
Overtime.
Not just the remuneration, the time sheet. And the principal can have you moved and removed. So, to usurp that authority and say, well, miss, I charge in this boy.
No, I say that to show you how much analysis had to go into this thing, you know. Because you say something that probably we ask why the MTS not acting, what the police going to do different than the MTS security officer. He could hold them, he could arrest them, he could charge them, he could take them down the road to the station and so forth. Why he's not doing it? He's stronger than he weaker than the police.
Let me give you some inside information here. Let's say this off.
Talk to me.
The MTS looking there had a contract renewed.
No, MTS is state-owned. They are getting a contract renewed.
Yes, they do.
Yeah, I understand. There's tender it out now.
Yes.
So we thought MTS was state. MTS fighting up with private will tender cheaper.
Vying for it.
Yeah, and the cheapest
man
win.
Not to mention where you know, well, you will know the difference between paying for a corporal and paying for an officer and whatever, and what the strength is and etc. etc. So you see the Lord of Whom surveys, you see that person called the principal according to the Education Act.
Yeah.
You better be on the good side, eh? So if Miss tell you leave that alone, you leave that alone, sir. You bring him in the office and we go talk. We go forget that. Hardly you would find officers acting apart from those instructions. And I'm saying instructions.
From the principal.
From the principal or the administrator, whoever the administrator is. It's a totally different relationship.
It's a systemic sort of cancer that prevails or pervades this school system then.
Yeah.
From the so really need to dig deep and
So
analyze
you could
this
see
thing.
now,
So putting the police there, so the police have to stay there until time immemorial, or till time they will remove the principal or something like that.
well, the police now will have to have different mandates because there will be a clash on law that I didn't want to get into. But the law gives the principal total right. I have
And this
seen,
is it.
listen, I've seen police get put off a school compound by a principal. You would think security trumps that? No, it doesn't. I've heard officers complain that the police says she doesn't want any people with guns on her compound. Do not breach that gate.
See, do you see how we have to look at this thing now?
Very deep.
So what I'm saying is, it's not as a going up a police. It's just
No.
So this
you
why
have to
I
look at the Education Act. And
so this what I'm saying. You saying that to me, I said, okay, it's a conversation you want to start, but it's not a decision you made.
Yeah.
I want to put police in school, yes, is you want to open up a conversation. I don't call that a decision as yet, because there are so many things to consider and so much conversation you have to have with me, PTA, principal, NPTA, civil society and so forth. We need to know roles and responsibility, as you say, with the Education Act, say with men with SLR and what kind of gun they have in the schools, as the case may be. Could they go in a classroom and drag a child out if the law is being broken? What is the remit? I don't know. What is the outcome we're looking for? As I said, let me tell you something. Common sense children, them children, I shouldn't say kids, children, they're intelligent. If I can't beat you in the school because the police watching, man who shop down the road, you have to pass there, I don't find. And most of the infractions I see with children,
a lot of them.
not in the school.
A lot of them, yes.
One or two in the school,
Yeah,
but a lot of them I see in the
external.
school by the bridge,
In the
down
drain.
the road, in the drain, and all kind of thing. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, we start with that, but it shouldn't be the end because it will not solve the problem we're trying to arrest. Yes? You talk about the teaching, the teachers, the principal, you talk about the Teaching Act. Yeah? What about the home? How going in the home? Is the child an abused child? Why is the child acting out this way? Why is the child bitter and angry? Because I look at someone.
Even though you have police, you have judges' rules, which speaks about how they interact with children.
Yeah. Yes, yes.
And then you have different people under the Education Act, the principal first, and other people in the school system who are in local standby for children. So law enforcement meshing with active education,
yes,
is a serious cocktail.
Because persons were, when the captain said that the children fighting is breaking the law. Why? Because they're in a uniform, they must be treated differently. There are human beings that are fighting, there are people that are fighting, and the law, there's laws for that. Having a uniform on doesn't exempt you from the law. This is why we have is YTC or something like they call, where they have young children below 18
Yes.
who commit crime and so forth.
Yes.
So you committing a crime outside there, when whatever way, violent crime and so forth, the law prescribe a way to treat with you. We have been looking away because, well, they have I call them school children. So when you're in a uniform, you're school children.
Nice.
When you're out the school uniform,
Nice, eh?
so there's a way to deal with you outside of the school. Yes? In the school, there may be a different way to address the situation while you're in the school, as the case may be. I don't know.
But you see, here's where we reach, right? criminals and criminal activity makes no distinction between a uniform or not.
No, of course not.
They do not care. It has, when, well, I wouldn't say when we were young, I'm careful I was saying that, right? When I was young, when I was younger, you hear lady children. Oh, go stand up now, let the child sit down. Don't harm the children. Where we are now, we've been seeing death on school children, violence regardless. There's no distinction. And if that be the reality of the society in which we live, that's the truth about it. That's the truth, whether we like it or not. What are we trying to water down? What are we trying to? We're trying to fool the children into an alternative universe about out there and in here. You think children is buying that? Listen, these children live in these communities, you know. They've seen death, you know. They've seen the dark side of life, you know. So the only person playing Monkey Lou is us.
Yeah.
They know when the community leader give that instruction.
Yeah.
It's to obey, you know. They might not listen to you, the teacher or the parent, but that fella down the road, when he give an instruction, you understand that they understand it clearly, and it have no debate. They understand power relationships, you know. They understand.
Yeah.
So are we as adults surreal? Are we the surreal ones?
Or are you playing smart with foolishness?
With foolishness, correct. So in getting the police involved, maybe they're thinking as enough is enough. And this is the reality of where we reached. And drastic times call for drastic measures.
Okay. Okay, how long would the police be in the school, or is this a new post or stand in order for the police to be in school?
That is what we have to wait
Because
to hear.
all we have to do, if we know
because
that
you're
if
right
2
to
months
say,
we have no fight, police leave, we start a fight.
You're right to say, so is it sustainable?
I don't know.
Yes, you're right to say that there must be a conversation, and I guess she made the announcement about her future intentions of the legislative agenda of the government, which is fair.
Yeah.
And maybe we're being very presumptuous or very premature by not waiting to see the rollout of conversations and dialogue with the union.
But I think what we're doing here is
PTA.
prompting conversation and the need for conversation.
Of course.
We're not adjudicating.
No.
But we're saying in doing so,
Yes.
there must be these parameters that you must look at. Yeah? In terms of building out a model where that will bring about some level of success.
And we must remember, as dire as the situation is, we don't want it to seem that it's all school children.
Yeah.
This is not all. Our problems are not everybody, but it's not the everybody we worry about. It's the few. It's the few in the communities that have the communities at ransom. It's not everybody. So saying it's not everybody doesn't really pacify the situation, to be honest. Right?
Why it is, again, some schools are the focal point of police presence. What it is about these schools? Have these schools been identified as yet? No?
Well, no, I don't know. But I know even before now, there exists this theory of high-risk schools, and they would look at, maybe, I'm suggesting they have looked at the crime data.
Oh, when we look at high-risk school, again, high-risk school must have a number of measurements in it. High-risk mean there's fights, there is a literacy problem in the school, there's a challenge with numeracy, there's a challenge with school feeding, there's a challenge with single parent in terms of working in some challenging environment that doesn't give. All of that have to be looked at to know how best we could craft a solution for it.
You are familiar with risk assessment. So you would understand that there must be some risk. I will tell you what I can tell you something from my experience. When I was involved in union business in Port of Spain, we had a particular issue with Southeast Port of Spain, right? And there was an incident where a bullet pierced the wall and lodged in a classroom. A teacher was at her desk. Thank God she was unhurt. She was not hurt, and everything went well. They had a lot of protest action and everything. But in our meetings with the hierarchy of the police of the Port of Spain division, right? At that time, they started to give us, on the teaching side, a lot of statistics about where the school is. Right? And you'll have the same issue maybe in, let's say, Diego Martin North. Because some schools are in hotspots or in places where there's a high criminal demographic. Those are facts. Right? The policeman said to us, and I'll give you this joke, he said to us, you know, this Nelson Street is the fastest block in the country. Drug block, you know that, right?
Okay.
I said, no, I didn't know that, sir. He said, yes. We arrest people here every day or every other day from up the islands, from Brazil, from Spanish American countries, from all over, right here.
So the block still exists, if they know.
So you're going into different...
Somebody, mama
right?
getting somebody, yes.
But I'm saying to you, we were talking about what is considered high risk.
Yeah.
You know, there are other schools in other located in other areas that may not be as treacherous in terms of the terrain and the criminal activity and the gang area, for instance. Well, I could talk about Port of Spain because I was involved heavily. You have about Rose Hill, good, and certain schools that are in between warring factions. Good? It's one thing to belong to a faction in terms of where you're located, but it's another thing to be between factions. Good? We had St. Philip's, right? That has been decanted, you know, right there on the flyover. So they will come up with their own metrics about what is high risk or not, and hopefully it's a metric we'd be able to apply in other communities, because it's not just Port of Spain. You know, there's all over all the educational districts. But the jury's out on the police in schools. The jury's out on the role that they would play, according to you. What is their role and function? What is their remit? Who in charge? Who is in charge when they are in schools? And we'll have to maybe take some lessons from what exists, because our callers have said to us that there's nothing new in the other planets.
Yeah.
This is
normal.
This is normal.
The rule of thumb, man.
Yeah, we worked this out already.
Yeah.
We ain't asking if it could be done. We worked out that like 50 years ago. or 20 or 30 years ago. We saw a need and we execute. Good? As a matter of fact, we perfected it now. We perfecting it now, and the children are, you know, they adjust, right? They're very resilient.
And they adapt too.
They adapt too.
Yeah.
Some might be fascinated. Good. When you see officers come on the compound, you think children running and hide like long ago, like my time. Not your time, like my time. Right? They have a different attitude towards these things now. And we maybe still live in the age where we think they are fearful of them. That's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true.
Yeah.
We might be more fearful of as adults of the police
than the children.
Remember, these are children, again, not all who are in and about every day on the street. They're on the ground. It's their classmates. It's
Some
their
of them know the
village
law
mates.
too. They know I could tell the police
am I
that and
right?
get away. I might right.
Yeah, I have a right. You can't tell me to go in my bed.
Arrest me now.
Yeah, lock me up.
Lock me up now.
And a female officer, you have to bring a female. She's a female.
You can't touch me.
You can't touch me. Good.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a good education drive. as you were saying.
Yeah.
Maybe through the conversation, we're going to learn more. Because if you see something, say something, tells you about the interaction between law enforcement and the public. Huh?
Yeah.
As you say, it have to have a deep level of trust and performance.
Yeah.
Not just trust, performance. I call 911 and in 10 minutes, something happened.
You know,
Otherwise, I ain't calling back, you know.
Yeah. And if I used to take one caller said neighbor was making noise, hearing noise. Call the police, I hear noise, I hear bawling across the next house, and neighbor call the police. 10 minutes, police was there. You call the police, I know when they'll reach in Trinidad.
Yeah.
So you ask to say, what are you calling them for then?
Yeah.
Say something, see something, say something, but when I say something, but nothing happening,
I end up in trouble.
nobody come to and end up in trouble because Bunto called me and say, I hear you call the station, girl.
Yeah. Sergeant, tell me a call. Sergeant, let me know your call.
Yeah, watch yourself.
Yeah, watch yourself, huh?
Yeah.
Work on the right side.
We have a lot to repair, and we had to start patching, but we had to look at systemic solutions for it. Delve deep down inside of it. While we do certain things, we just put we hand up in the air and doing nothing, you know.
Now we can't afford to.
So when the police is there, but you must look at the wider cause, why the police have to be there, and so forth.
And for callers in the pavilion and members in the pavilion, you may feel, according to one of the callers, it's two different discussions, it's one discussion. And that one discussion is, are we serious about crime and criminal activity in terms of arresting the problem?
Yeah.
Not eliminating it, we're not that
perfect. We're not that perfect.
We know that, we know that. But are we serious in terms of our behavior, our evidence, our discussions? Are we still into the human rights and the rights of the child? And are we still into a lot of academic discussion rather than what is happening in Trinidad right now?
Yeah.
What's the murder rate? Right now. Good. I have a personal loss of a former board chairman. I was the school board chairman and the vice chairman. Mr. Gishad was the senior citizen who was murdered last week.
Where?
Went to his home. Maybe with, signs of a break-in. And when he was found unresponsive, dead. The story is that he saw intruders on his camera and went home to his residence, but was found dead. We have a lot of senior citizens who are the victims of home invasions. So some of us are still sticking our heads in the sand, pretending that we don't have a problem. It's just a matter of time sometimes before it knocks on your door or it hits home.
So we're saying crime and criminality do discriminate?
No.
The children, tender age?
No.
The senior citizen?
It's not all God's
the man
children.
in the middle?
We believe it's all God's children.
And are you saying we're patching it?
Yeah. Because we have some of these children who are the perpetrators as well, You look at the age of criminals. Some of them are in their teens, Some of them show no mercy,
Yeah, but we've been talking a while now.
Yes.
I'm feeling hungry.
Read something for me.
I will give a story. I will tell you something about his hunger.
Tell me.
New KFC tenders just land. Hot and spicy or extra crispy, non-spicy. 3 pieces for just $29.95. Feeling hungry? Haha. For just $10 more, make it a combo with your favorite side and a drink Plus, see this Java? We not chilling. We just chasing the crunch. KFC. It's finger licking good. I gonna do some of that. All this talking about crime, I'm hungry.
You could work with Rose. Rose is listening to you and laughing and messaging me. Rose, good evening, ma'am. Good evening, darling.
KFC, finger licking good. Let's chase the crunch. Chase the crunch. Now, the crime and criminality, we really have to expand on it tomorrow because I'm seeing the murder rate. We tend to measure crime by murder rate, but there are many more crimes taking place. Yes? White collar, green collar, powder, grass, all kind of crimes. We really need to expand on it. The batsman we put in the wicket is the Homeland Security batsman to really say, what's your policy position? As minister, you're just responsible for policy and really as the Minister of National Security, the way it's structured. So really looking to you, batsman, Homeland Security batsman, for policies that would guide how we manage crime and criminal behavior in this country, be it technology, be it human resource, be it what have you, and so forth. So I leave you with that. We continue tomorrow with that. Rolex.
Yes, tomorrow, God spare life. We will get a little deeper. We're just on the surface today because this is a topic on every program, on every radio. But rightfully so, this topic does not go away. It is relevant every day. Yeah. Every day and every second of our life. We actually must not stop talking about this. We must do more, but we must not stop talking about this problem. Never stick our heads in the sand when concerning the level of crime and criminal activity in our country.
Criticism is not a solution.
But we're going for drinks and we're off till tomorrow.
See you then, Pavilion. We out of here.
You've got bills to pay, and so do we. Let's go pay some bills.